new video. I made a video called Cooking with Cam about a year and a half ago, and a lot of people really liked it, and they've always been asking for an episode 2. And I've always wanted to do more baking and cooking, vegan baking and cooking on the channel. So, and this is part of my journey to being more myself on the channel and doing more things that I like to do. So, and I love to bake vegan baked goods. So I thought today I would show you guys how to make vegan brownies. Now I know all of you aren't vegan, but some of you are. And even if you're not, I think it's always great to try new things, try out new recipes. So whether you're new here looking for a new vegan brownie recipe, or you're a subscriber and you're just here to chill and make some brownies, I'm glad that you could join me today. I'm going to take you step by step how to make the best vegan brownies in the world. I cannot take full credit for these brownies, as amazing as they are. I got the recipe online from an amazing site. noracooks.com is the site. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to go check it out. So before we start, I'm going to open up the recipe on my Amazon Echo Fire 8 tablet, available in many different editions and sizes. They're not sponsoring me, I'm just trying to get them too. So first we'll just go through our ingredients. I'll show you guys every single ingredient that you need to make the perfect vegan brownies. If you don't have some of these, then a lot of them, basically everything's available at any local grocery store. You can find all this stuff anywhere, so don't worry. You can pick it up pretty easily. If you're not baking along with us today, that's fine. You can just enjoy, sit back, relax, watch us bake some brownies. So let's go through the ingredients. So first thing you're gonna need is some flour. You can get flour anywhere. You can use any type of flour. Next, you'll need ground flaxseed. Make sure it's not normal flaxseed, because one time I used normal flaxseed accidentally. It's because I was baking them with my wife, and we used normal flaxseed, and the brownies just had seeds in them, and it was terrible. So make sure it's ground flaxseed. Next, you're gonna need some sugar, just white cane sugar. Any sugar will do, but make sure it's white. So next, I know this just looks like a bag of nothing, but you need brown or golden sugar. The recipe says brown, but I found that golden yellow sugar works better, just tastes better, tastes sweeter. Next, you'll simply need some table salt. Very simple, just salt. Next, you're gonna need some vanilla extract to add a little bit of oomph. Next, you're gonna need baking powder. This can be any basic baking powder, anything works. Next, you're gonna need cocoa powder. This is a very important element because cocoa powder is what makes it very chocolatey, gives it that fudgy brownie taste. You can use any cocoa powder, but I highly recommend the Hershey's cocoa powder if you have it wherever you are. It tastes the best. It's goddamn delicious. Out of all the cocoa powders I've had, that is the one that has the most cocoa power. Next, we're almost done. You'll need vegan butter. You can do, there's tons of different vegan butters out there, but Earth Balance is definitely recommended. I think it's the most flavorful, best texture for vegan butter, and even not for this, I recommend just making the switch from butter, normal butter, to vegan butter. You won't regret it. You can't even taste the difference. And then finally, you are going to need chocolate chips, but make sure they're either dark chocolate chips, bittersweet, or even some semi-sweet don't have milk in them. Just look on the packaging, make sure it doesn't say like it has milk ingredients in it. It should just say it uses cocoa butter, cocoa powder. Those ones are fair trade and organic, and they are delicious. But I'm not gonna say the brand because no free clout! Alright, that's everything we're gonna need for our brownies. Now let's go ahead and let's start baking. Let's do it, let's bake it. Well, not bake it, we have to get it ready first, then we bake it, but Step 1. I've already done it, but preheat your oven to 350 so that you don't have to turn it on after you're all done. Make sure it's all ready to go once you're done fixing everything up. It also depends on your oven. Sometimes I do 350, sometimes I do 375 with this oven because it's a little bit slower. Depends how rich you are and how good your oven is. But I say 350. I should also say you need something square like this to bake your brownies in. And then we're also gonna need 2 separate bowls for this. It can be any size really. Make sure one is a lot bigger. These are the same size, but make sure you have 1 big bowl and 1 medium bowl. These look like those. I'm just moving this a little closer so you guys get a better angle on what to do. I'm sorry, this is my first time really trying to do this for a video, so bear with me if the production value is not perfect. I also need to get a mic. All I have is a mic, you know, I need to get a mic that picks up all this sound, because right now I'm using the camera audio. Probably doesn't sound too good, I'm really sorry. Alright, first you need 4 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. I'm just gonna put 4 of them in there. There we go, 4 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. And this is tablespoons, not teaspoons. I know they're similar, they both have this spoon and they start with T, but make sure these are tablespoons. Also, if you don't have these at home, they're just like little baking things that help. You can get them anywhere, like Dollarama or any dollar store. Also, you can use a regular spoon, like those are kind of the same size. But yeah, 4 tablespoons. And next we need half a cup of water, and then you're just gonna stir that around for a little bit, the water and the flaxseed. What you're doing with the water and the flaxseed is you're trying to make something similar to, because obviously we can't use eggs, so we're trying to make something similar to eggs. So just give that a good stir for a little bit. So let that sit, let that thicken for a couple minutes. And while we're doing that, we're gonna need half a cup of the vegan butter. Put that in there. It might not be perfect your first try, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it on the stove. We're just gonna put it on the stove there, and we're gonna let it melt for a few minutes until it's completely liquid. Now, in a separate bowl, we're going to put in our 2 different kinds of sugar. We're gonna need 1 full cup of sugar. I know that's a lot of sugar, but it needs to be sweet. I even put in like a cup in like a 6, like just to give it a little bit of. Now this is in a separate bowl. I said that right. It's in a separate bowl than the flaxseed that is thickening as we speak. I want that flaxseed thick! And then after you're done with the white sugar, you are gonna move on to the brown or the golden yellow sugar. And we need 1 cup as well. Same as the white sugar, we need 1 cup of the yellow sugar as well. Make sure this sugar is tightly packed because brown sugar, yellow sugar, it's very different than white sugar. It's like, it gets very hard easily. So you have to really pack it into the cup that you have. This can get a little bit messy sometimes. That's okay. It's gonna be, hey, listen, the whole thing's gonna be messy, but you're gonna have amazing brownies at the end of it. That looks good to me. That looks good to me. 1 cup of sugar, tightly packed. My hand is dirty. I'm gonna drop that into the bowl. Done with that sugar. Then we're just gonna mix the brown and the white sugar together right now, just so they are perfectly balanced. Thanos with like the sugar. So just keep mixing up until make sure there's no like clunky, because like brown sugar can really clunk up pretty easily. So make sure you're mixing it well. Make sure there's no clunks. Make sure it's nice and smooth. There, looks pretty good. Next, we're gonna take the vegan butter that we melted, and we are going to pour it into the sugar, the large bowl that we've been using. We're gonna whisk that. If you have a whisk at home, feel free to use that. I don't really have a whisk, so I use this thing. Just keep stirring that until you get kind of a sticky vibe. Then once you've mixed for a little bit, we're gonna pour in the ground flaxseed. Make sure you get all of it out there. And then we're gonna keep stirring. We're just gonna stir until we have like a general consistency where you can see everything's been mixed together. So just stir until you see that. This is basically the butter, the flaxseed, all of that is acting as the eggs, because obviously we can't use that as vegans. So just stir, baby. Hope everyone's having a good time so far. Hope whether you're baking the brownies at home or you're just watching, hope you're doing well. Next, we are going to add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. We're gonna stir that in as well. Once again, the vanilla extract just gives it a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of tang in the brownie. Like you want sweet, sugary, beautiful brownies, and the vanilla just gives it that little flavor. You know what I mean? So then you stir that in. Woo! These feel good. These smell good. They feel good. I'm excited. I think we're gonna get a good batch today. Sometimes when you bake, it's like, these are pretty good. But then sometimes you bake and it's like, everything goes right, and it's like, how the fuck? I'm a genius. Beautiful, now we're all done that. I just fucking made a mess. You're probably thinking, Cam, this looks wonderful. It's amazing. Where the heck is the flour? How are we gonna bake these things without flour? Well, lucky for you, that is our next step. You're going to need 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Don't worry if some of it spills, that's gonna happen. Now you sift that together, you mix that up, mix until it's all one consistency. This is gonna take a little bit of time, so excuse me while I mix it. If your hand gets tired, just switch to the other hand, or if you're baking with someone, make them do it. But it's just me, so I'm gonna suffer with my hands. Next is the most important step, I think. Well, they're all important. You can't make it without a step, but very important because this is what gives it that chocolatey, yummy, beautiful, rich taste. So this is very important. You're gonna need 1 cup of cocoa powder, so pour that in your cup. You can see now we've clearly made a mess. With the cocoa powder, it's actually really helpful if you have a sifter. I don't, I'm not a pro baker. I really need to get a sifter. If you have a sifter, it's very helpful because it can break down those little chunks that come in with cocoa powder. But if you don't have a sifter, then you gotta dig extra hard when you're mixing. So now I'm gonna do that, and once again, it's gonna be a process in my arm. This is gonna be like, if you thought mixing the flour was hard for your hands, then, oh baby, get ready for this. Jesus, this really is. You really gotta go all out. I might take my shirt off. My pants are already off. You really gotta go. You gotta make sure this is perfect, because this is, once we're done this, we pretty much are almost done. And while you're mixing that, you're gonna need half a teaspoon of salt, and then also a full teaspoon of baking powder. And then you keep mixing. My arms. This is nothing. I've trained my whole life for this. In bed, alone, at night. My wrists can handle anything. I think we're almost done though. I think I've pretty much got it almost all mixed together. These babies are gonna be thick. Oh, these babies are gonna be thick with 2 C's. Do a tiny bit more mixing though. It's been like 5-6 minutes. Make sure you get everything. You're gonna need 1 cup of chocolate chips, but we're gonna put half of them in right now, mix them in, and then we're gonna do the other half on top at the end. Put that in there. You can also eyeball this. If you want to put more chocolate chips in, you can. It's basically put as many in as you want. So now we mix those in. Oh boy, this is gonna be a chocolate delight. If you love chocolate, oh my god, this is truly, these are the best brownies in the world, bro. Now these are a little thick, so I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon, not tablespoon, of water just to give it a tiny bit, tiny bit more liquid. Because these are really thick right now. Like these are just like maybe like a tiny bit too thick. We just need to soften it down a bit. Mix all that in. Make sure you get everything off of the mixer. So I've sprayed our pan to make sure that it doesn't stick. Some of you guys might be using metal pans. If you are, I recommend using parchment paper to put down inside just to make sure it doesn't stick. But I'm just using this foil one because it's all they had at the grocery store. So we just spray it down a little bit. So now we put it all in. This is very important. Make sure you don't mess this part up. It's pretty easy though. You just put it in the pan. You just gotta make sure it spreads out enough everywhere in the pan. Mine's pretty thick, so I'm gonna have to do the spreading myself. Make sure you get all of it out. It's very hard because it's very sticky. Very sticky. Make sure you get absolutely every little bit that you can get. Perfecto. Bro, look at these hands. Look at these goddamn hands. Very dirty, but don't worry, these hands were dirty long before I started baking. Section. Now we're just gonna spread brownie batter out as much as we possibly can so that it will cook nice and evenly. These are gonna be so good. These are gonna be so good. I just know. I can feel it in my bones. These are gonna be tremendous. I can just tell. Make sure you fill every corner possible. Make sure it's flat, pretty flat, because you don't want one side to be huge, one side to be not huge. Then they won't cook properly. But I am very pleased with what we have created today so far. So now dump the rest of the chocolate chips on top. Spread them out as much as you'd like. Do whatever you want, baby. And voila! We did it! We made brownies! Now I'm just gonna put these in the oven. Jesus Christ, that's hot! And voila! We are finished! Wait, no we're not, I forgot to tell you. Now you bake these bad boys for about 35 to 40 minutes. I do 35 at first and then I check on them, see how they're doing. Sometimes you need 35, 40, sometimes 45 minutes, can you believe it? But then yeah, once you're done, you take them out, let them cool for 15, 20 minutes. And if they're ready, then you take a bite and they're absolutely delicious, hopefully. I hope I didn't lead you astray. I hope this was somewhat enjoyable and somewhat easy to go along with. Hopefully, if you did bake at home, you were able to do it correctly. Or you can put your own spin on it, do whatever you want, but I hope I was able to help you out. I'm gonna wait for these to be done. I'm gonna stop recording now, obviously. And then once the brownies are done, I'll pull them out, I'll show you guys, and then we'll eat one brownie together. I'll show my reaction. I'll be honest, if they're bad, then I'll let you guys know that they're bad. But if they're good, oh, you'll know they're good. I'm gonna go watch an episode of Haiku, and we will do a time loop to when they're ready. Go! Okay, I've taken the brownies out of the oven. They are all done. We're gonna let them cool for like 20 minutes because we do not want to burn our mouths. And I didn't watch Haiku. I worked out instead. Okay, Cam worked out some more. He's very proud of himself. I'm very sweaty. But it's been like 30 minutes, 35 minutes since I took these out. And I worked out so hard just so I can eat this whole fucking batch of brownies. So, without further ado, let us eat some brownies. Alright, listen, it's a little bit crumbly, they're still a little warm, but I'm still gonna eat it. It's still gonna taste delicious. So, here we go. Oh my. Oh wow. Cam, you did it again. Oh my god, that's good. It is. I fucking killed it! I actually killed it. It actually tastes so good. Alright, well, excuse me while I eat this whole batch of brownies, literally the whole thing. Honestly, it was a different kind of video today, but I actually had a lot of fun, so let me know if you guys enjoyed it, liked the video. Leave a comment down below of something you'd like to see me make, like so, and obviously a vegan creation, because we're vegan. Yeah, so I'm open to suggestions. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see me bake or cook. Could be anything, and I will read them all. And we'll make some more Cooking with Cam. Cooking with Cam has a good ring to it, and honestly, it's really fun to do this. So I'm gonna do it again. I don't know what I'll make, but I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and joining me, whether you baked along with me or you just watched the process. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Love you a lot. Be nice to each other. Go vegan! And have a good day. Mwah. Peace out.
Fucked up loser, got a lot of dreams though. Scream so loud, never could be seen though. Get so lost, like my name is Nemo. When I dream, it can never be complete. Make these motherfuckers understand there'll never be another me. Tell them on to me, what you wanna be. Yeah, the future me. All you gotta do is